remember, we still have our dinner coming up. I know the session has been rushed because of time, but at the dinner time, I'm sure we'll still have all these people and we can discuss further. Thank you.
Good evening. So we will have a plenary session for ACEK Future Leader members who've been there since the inception of Future Leaders. So we have some questions we've prepared for them, but first of all, I will present the bios and welcome them to the stage. To start with, we will start with our chair, who was our chair for so many years, Engineer Ken Kiunga. Engineer Kennedy Mwangi Kiunga, PE, member of IEK, PEng Tech, and HSK, a seasoned professional with over 10 years of experience in roads, water, and sanitation. An alumni of the University of Nottingham, UK, Engineer Kiunga has not only excelled in his technical roles, but also demonstrated leadership as the former chair of ACEK FL, former member of FIDIC Africa FL Council, and a dedicated member of IEK's FL committee, showcasing his commitment to advancing the engineering community. Let's welcome Engineer Kiunga. Next, I will welcome Engineer Kenneth Amolo. Engineer Kenneth Amolo is a highly accomplished civil engineer with a master's degree in transportation engineering. One of his most notable achievements is his pivotal role in the development of the National Expressway, a landmark infrastructure project. Currently, Engineer Kenneth Amolo holds a prominent position in the head of policy research and advocacy at the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Furthermore, he serves as the Vice President of the Policy Standards and Ethics Committee within the Association of Consulting Engineers of Kenya, where he contributes significantly to the industrial standards and ethical guidelines. Let's welcome Engineer Kenneth Amolo.
Good evening. The next panelist we have is Engineer Latoya, who I believe we already did an introduction on. And then I'll also welcome to the stage Robert Ogallo, who's the current ACEK FL chair. Robert has 12 years experience, expertise in supervising and managing geotechnical and foundation engineering operations, quality control testing for road design and constructions, and has participated in geotechnical investigations and structural audits in key projects within Africa. He's extensively handled project cycle of infrastructure projects from feasibility studies, designs, tender documentation. He's a graduate of civil engineering, JKUAT, holds a diploma in civil engineering from Kisumu Polytechnic, certificate in climate change, and certificate in environmental, and so we can tell he's very competent. So I think let's start the session. I'll invite my co-moderator, Engineer Yvette Olende, to begin her session.
Thank you, Engineer Barbara. So the first question we have, and this is for Engineer Kenneth Amolo. How can young engineers engage in policy advocacy to influence government decisions that promote food security? And what role can they play in shaping food-related policies?
Thank you very much, Engineer, and good afternoon all. I think that is a very pertinent question for this forum, and I believe that we've really engaged in the past 2 days to ensure that we have something to take home from this forum. But I think from my end, there are a number of things that we can do as engineers, and especially as young engineers. The first thing that is critical is continuous learning. As young engineers, we need really to learn as much as possible, especially around food security. How can we investigate and understand the challenges surrounding food security and provide solutions and try to fill in the gap? The second thing is that is very critical as well is that you cannot be practicing, for example, in the road sector your entire career, then you end up providing food security solutions. So we need to align as much as possible. We need to look at the various organizations that enhance food security in the country and also globally. we have the UN, FAO, we have World Food Program. We need really to align as young engineers so that when we grow in these different career paths, we are able to look at the various ways we can be able to provide solutions as much as possible. The other thing that is also very critical for young engineers and also senior engineers is the advocacy part of it. As engineers, we need to really come out clearly that we are the solution providers. For instance, if we are very quiet in our different corners, we may not be able to, the world will really not know what we can offer to them. But if we are outspoken, we do articles about food, enhancing food security in the country. We do a number of opinion editorials. We go on social media and just try to sensitize the public as much as possible. And the other thing is on data. We need to critically get data, gather data, and analyze it. For example, the speaker who spoke yesterday was really talking about how can we enhance the entire life cycle on food security by providing, maybe designing good transport systems so that animals do not die when they are being transported. So how can we do this? We need to analyze this data and provide data-driven solutions to our food security challenges. And lastly, I think it is very, we need to be steadfast as the engineering fraternity. We need to critically look at, be very futuristic and align ourselves accordingly. Because some of the policy positions that we have currently in the country, they may even take 5 years or 10 years to change. So what we need to do as engineers is we need to map them out critically. We need to look at how we can engage with the policymakers on this front and ensure that we drive the right policy decisions and policy changes to ensure that we are on the table and not on the menu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we started the session without really giving a formal introduction as to what ACEK Future Leaders is. We are honored to have our first ACEK Future Leader Chair, Engineer Ken Kiunga, with us. So you can start on that one, and to take on your question, the one that you'll be answering, how can young engineers contribute to educational programs and capacity building efforts to equip the workforce with the skills that is needed for a food secure future? Thank you.
Thank you. So ACEK Future Leaders, where did it begin? Around 2017, 2018, the idea came from the larger ACEK fraternity, who wanted to nurture young engineers in their companies to meet, network, have a lot of events to just bring people together so that engineering can still progress, and they also have programs such as mentorship programs, and sometimes we also had career appraisals where you just come and present a project that you're working on or you're interested in, and you gain insights on how you're going to actually go about your career. So that's how it began, and so far we've come a long way, and it's part of, we're also part of ACEK, a part of Africa. Gamma, FIDIC, it used to be called Gamma Africa, so now it's FIDIC Africa, where we also participate in FIDIC contracts and conferences, and it's a really good forum for young engineers to actually just come and network. You make it what you want it to be, in short, because there's no price tag to networking. Although they say your network is your net worth. So, but in short, ACEK FL is a good place to be in, and I'd encourage any of you young engineers to actually join. So for the question that I've been given, how can young engineers contribute to educational programs and capacity building efforts to equip the workforce and the skills needed for future food secure future? I would say for young engineers, you need to first of all hone your skills. You really need to know your basics if you really want to be into the food secure future. We have a lot of opportunities in future for food security, and there's a lot that we still need to do, and we have a lot of tools that we can go into and hone our skills. So like currently, even if you Google it, you can have you can have an online course without really attending the course. So if you can Google anything like, say, AI in agriculture, you'll get a lot of courses that are going to help you to understand, to get the benefits of that gap. There's also some other tools that can be used would be social media is a good alternative, where you have people who have come up through social media and had the passion to do it. We have guys who, like the Mjengo guy, you have Suowino who cooks. You know, you have the skill, you have the passion, and you can do it. And people will see it, and people will appreciate, and you'll run with it. We have the metaverse, we have coding nowadays, we have the drone technology. There's so much we can do that is still untapped. Currently, we also have innovations like vertical farming. We also have lab-grown meat. I can tell you packaging also, there's also the smart packaging where you can be able to, it has smart sensors where you can actually just check the temperature of the packaged food, the expiry dates, and it's easier for people to actually just check on the spoilage. Another thing that we need to also look into is collaborating with institutions. We have the research institutions where we need to plug ourselves into, because that's where the brain of the matter is, and it would be good for the young engineers to actually, as you continue advancing your research, you plug into that, and you'll be able to be mentored and nurtured. As young engineers, you also need to work with like-minded young engineers. It's very good for you. So, like I said, plug into ACEK FL or any other forum where you can be able to challenge yourself, nurture yourself, and also get a mentor in the process. That will really fast-track your career. And for food security, also, you can be able to just churn out ideas and ping ideas to each other, and you never know the result of it. Yeah, so for me, that's it. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for all of you attending, and yeah, thank you.
A round of applause. Thank you, Engineer Kionga. I'd like to pose my next question to Engineer Latoya. How do future leaders envision the role of emerging technologies such as AI, artificial intelligence, drones, and Internet of Things in addressing food security challenges, and how can they be harnessed effectively?
Thank you, Yvette, for the question. FIDIC celebrated 110 years in September, and future leaders were tasked in looking back and looking forward on how far we are in technology. We looked back and we chuckled, and we thought about how we used to work with T-squares, and we looked and we remembered how we used to use the inception of AutoCAD, and the way it was such a new thing, and now everyone can use AutoCAD. It's no longer something that you brag about in your CV. We talked about BIM. We're now at BIM, and BIM is quickly being overtaken, although it's getting enhanced. We're now in the era of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, drones, and all these futuristic things that we thought that were in the movies in the 70s of how the year 2030 would look like, and now we are here. So in talking about emerging technologies and in the likes of artificial intelligence and IoT, I think it's already with us, especially when it comes to food security. We see a lot of sensors in farms that tell, especially I saw in Narok in the wheat farms, where they tell the amount of ground cover and the amount of rain that's required in one specific plant. So that is one advancement that is already with us. We look at drones. Irrigation is pest control is no longer done by hand. When you have 3,000 acres, you just fly a drone and it sorts everything out. It's the drone plus the IoT come together, and they give you a whole visualization of how your farm will be. We look at IoT in agriculture, in farms, in milk production, in meat production. We can tell the exact quality of fats in milk. So as much as we think that these are emerging technologies, no, these are current technologies. So what I would and how we can enhance as security, addressing food security sustainability challenges is by plugging into that, by plugging into the technologies that are already there and enhancing them, getting interest in that. Because if you're a graduate engineer and you're still very riled up in learning AutoCAD, the bus might have left you. There are more technologies that are getting out there. We have to think in the future, and we have to think on how we as young people, our strong, energetic minds, and read further and see how food security is in our hands. So the technology will get better with artificial intelligence, which now brings in all intelligence together and packages it for us to analyze. Who will analyze? Of course, artificial intelligence, but who is at the backbone to see it through? Engineers. So we just need to find a way as future leaders to look to the next 110 years, the 110 years that passed got us here, and how will the next 110 years look with these emerging technologies and technologies that are already with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Latoya, a force to reckon with in the Future Leaders Circle. Engineer Latoya currently sits at the FIDIC Future Leaders Advisory Council and the FIDIC committee. Now, you are our chair for which year?
I'm the COVID chair.
Oh, she's the COVID chair.
Yeah,
so a round of applause for Engineer Latoya.
Thank you. I think engineers remember all the webinars that were at that time.
We hope so. Now, we have also our current FL chair, Robert Ogalo. We call him our chief mobilizer. So I'm glad that Engineer Latoya brought up the idea of the future, where we intend to see ACEK Future leaders in the future. I know it's repetitive. Now, Engineer Kiunga took us through where we are from, so I would like Robert to take us through where we are going to, where we currently are and where we are going to, and perhaps he could also give insight on how ACEK Future Leaders fits in within ACEK, the main ACEK. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to take this chance to thank you very much for this session. First, I would also want to mention how one can join FL. Then I come to your question. A graduate engineer that is registered with the EBK and also is a member of IEK is eligible to join ACEK FL. We have an online form that is being filled, and joining FL is actually absolutely free of charge. So one is seconded. You have a proposer and a seconder who are members of the FL, and then you fill the form. We'll receive it the other end, and then the MHR will approve the same when the ACEK Council sits within a period of about 3 weeks or a maximum of 1 month to 2 months, and then one would be notified of having been registered as an FL. I would like to mention that the future of FL is bright. Now that you can see that Engineer Una already has mapped us in the world stage, our future is bright. And the future, number one, I would like to mention something about mentorship. We have graduate engineers, professional engineers, and consult engineers within the ACEK FL. A few CEs that are actually privileged not to be over 40. So currently happening, we are actually championing for the transition of PEs to CEs, and that one is taking place with the help of our CEs that we have. We have lined up ways and means of how PEs can transition to CEs, because we realize that we have a lot of PEs, but we normally focus on the transition of GEs to PEs. Number two is capacity building. In ACEK, we have an opportunity to have trainers like Engineer James Mwangi, who is a FIDIC trainer, normally holds training within the ACEK, and ACEK members plus the FLs normally have an opportunity to participate. So that one is a force to reckon with. Number two, our chair, Engineer Wambulwa, normally gives training on contract management, and the members of FL have an opportunity to get the trainings at affordable prices. To add, in FL we also have networking opportunities from the meet and greets that we normally make. We meet and then members interact across all the cadres. They know each other from all sectors, and that one has actually enhanced a lot of growth, personal growth, and also it gives us an opportunity because we come from different backgrounds. There are guys who are operating from various companies, while others are practicing privately. So it gives us an opportunity to build our personal brands. Last one, it also gives us an opportunity to add to the body of knowledge. It gives us exposure. For example, in this conference, we have had FLs present their papers, and we have also had opportunities to have attended this conference at actually a subsidized, heavily subsidized cost. Why don't you clap to that? And then we have also had an opportunity to give some students and graduate engineers an opportunity to attend by virtue of being rapporteurs. They have helped us in various sessions. So the future of FL is as bright as you can see. And currently we have about 234 members. So from where our great engineers started, we have actually transitioned to about 108% growth. Makofi. So together with our consulting engineers, we look forward to working together. We look forward to growing as individuals. And lastly, when we were at the Kisumu conference, my friend Clinton asked for some blessings, and he was blessed. I can see that I'm giving Engineer Barbara a lot of problems before saying Ogalo. So I'm actually asking for the same blessings on this one, so that next time we meet, instead of mentioning my 4 names, you can actually mention one in a powerful way.
Well guided.
Thank you.
Okay, so we would like to open the floor to any questions from the audience. Any questions on what ACEK FL does, on what the young engineers are doing?
Hello. Yeah, thank you. Now, when I've read through the profiles of each one of you, you all seem to be coming from one discipline, and that seems to be civil. So my question is to Engineer Latoya Ouma. The vision that you had for future leaders, was it only limited to civil engineers in this country? There are people like myself, electrical, telecommunications, and those terminologies that you are mentioning. Do you have room in this house of yours? Thank you.
Okay, yes. I'll even start with myself. Yes, I'm a civil engineer, but I'm involved in all types of projects, even power projects. So you're limited in your mind. Anyway, yes, we have electrical engineers. Our second vice chair was an electrical engineer, also called Mwangi. We like Mwangi in ACEK. Yes, we have a mechanical engineer who was also in the council, We have numerous actually mechanical engineers. We are calling all on electrical engineers. We're calling on agricultural engineers. Any other engineer that you feel like you don't fit in, I'm sure you'll fit in with us. We'll find a way to just squeeze you and make you and you make something out of what you think that you have. So, like he said, it is what you want it to be, and like again I said, you're limited in your mind.
Thank you. Do we have any other? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Once again, I'm Isaac Were. I'm a graduate civil engineer and an active FL member. So here, I'm active. I try to recruit people to join FL. So here's the question I get most of the time. How is FL going to help me secure a job? Most of young graduate engineers are looking up to that, and I do not have that answer. But I think since when someone joins ACEK, I think it should be a privilege so that, you see, this ACEK is a group for consulting engineers. Why then don't we have priority for FL? If somebody's in the FL and consultants are looking for someone, why can't FL people be prioritized? Something like that. Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. That's a question we get asked a lot. I would say this. When you're joining ACEK FL, your intention should not primarily be on I need to get a job. That's in a way a wrong intention, in a way. The reason I'm saying is this. If you're going into, you want to build your career, these are networks that will help you gain whatever access. It's an access door to whatever place you want to be. So even as time goes by, you will find that there'll be jobs that people advertise on the groups. You'll be there to actually read and take note of it and you can actually just contact somebody, slide into the DM, ask them, how do I get into applying for this job? Many people have actually gotten opportunities through that channel. So first, go with your passion. Know what people are actually talking about, what is trending in the industry. Maybe you need to know how to package your CV, or you need to know how to think widely on issues that are current. So just join, get your networks, and then slowly by slowly, take a day at a time, the opportunities will come. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the future leaders. I have to give you credit first because you are very patient with questions. I have to give you a thumbs up for that. My question is, we have so many engineers out of the country. They are Kenyans. How can you tap them into this FL and make sure you tap those experiences they have and bring them in this future leadership forward-looking channel you're trying to get? That's my question.
Thank you. My name is Engineer Butichi, a consulting engineer. First of all, is to appreciate you guys because where you've started is not where we started when we graduated. At least you have opportunities, and the opportunities are endless, with even many more coming up as we charter the way. My question is, apart from what you're doing within your peers, there is another group called students, which is a very important and critical mass because it is from the student, engineering students in the universities and colleges, that now you can bridge and become a graduate engineer, and then later on maybe a PE, a CE, and all that. So what plans do you normally have as FL to reach out to those perhaps graduating from the university into the industry? Thank you.
Just allow me. I think we'll take one last question from Engineer Musyomi. Yes. And then we'll have the panel tackle them, and then we'll move to the next session.
Thank you very much. Engineer Musiomi is my name. Also to join the rest in appreciating the good work that you're doing. And just to say congratulations and keep it up. Mine was a clarification on the membership qualification. I would like the chair to just clarify. I know the membership of ACEK, the main ACEK, is drawn from engineers who are in private practice. Are you also following the same, or you accept engineers in government sectors and other areas? Only that clarification, please.
Thank you, Engineer Musiomi. To also inform you, Engineer Musiomi is our current patron. Yeye ndo baba yetu. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We'll move. I think, Ken, you can take the first question, and then, okay.
Yes, I will. Thank you very much for that. I'll take the first question from our member over there. The short answer to that question is yes, we have foreigners who are foreign engineers who are not working in Kenya who are members of ACEK FL. And just to put more flesh to it, is that we even have engineers who were previously part of FL and have actually gone abroad to work abroad. We have a number of them among ourselves, and this is a platform that we use to now share knowledge abroad and knowledge that is in other countries. A good example is you have engineers even in the NEOM project. I don't know whether we are aware of the NEOM project, the city on the line. We have 2 of our members in that project, and it's very impressive that we are actually being sought out abroad. So it's very good. And also just to reiterate what my colleague here said about why join FL. I think in the past, we had most of our projects being more like an inverted pyramid, whereby we'll have so many senior people, senior consulting engineers at the top, with very few younger engineers at the bottom. Currently, we are moving from that, and we are fairly having a system whereby every senior engineer in a project has a graduate engineer they are training. And what we want is we want an actual pyramid whereby we have senior engineers supporting and mentoring 5 or more engineers, younger engineers, so that we can be able to transition to the next level. And that is why we have this lobby group whereby we can discuss these matters and ensure that these deliberations are taken into effect by the consultants who are the major members at ACEK. Thank you very much.
Quick.
Give them a hand clap again.
Okay.
Give them another hand clap. Yes, we shall have a photo session, but yes, the chairman.
Okay, just to wrap up, Engineer Butichi's question on mentorship with the engineering students, that is one of the successes of the current FL as constituted. We have had a number of university visits. We have had a visit at a talk mentorship session with the JQuat, Engineering Student Association, recently, together with IEEE. We met their principal, Engineer Hiram, and we had a very fruitful session. We also recently did the same to KU. We are planning UON and TUC. TUM is also up to speed. When we are here, we have actually engaged the engineering students, leadership, plus the administration of the engineering school for KU, for MOI and UOE, University of Eldoret. If you are keen yesterday, through our HONSEC, we had about 100 engineering students accessing the conference yesterday, and they were very, very inspired. So matters mentorship, we are actually very keen to that. We tell them the process on how to behave when they go for attachments, what they expect when they handle their internships, and also something about when they are doing their internships and attachments. There is that thing called the logbook. people normally take the standard specs for road and bridge for those who are doing civil. Then they just fill it up for the sake of filling the week's work, but not knowing that they are just supposed to get knowledge instead of just filling the book. So that one has been done excellently. Lastly, apart from that, we have actually extended a hand and doing several CSRs. We recently did one with SPA Africa, where we are also reaching out to primary school pupils. And the last activity that we did, we actually distributed sanitary pads, about 665 to 300 girls in Kibera. Hiyo hakuna makofi kwa hiyo. Finally, we are also discussing with the ACEK members, consulting members, who have been so much open. For example, I recently interacted with the students that have been absorbed in La Femme Engineering Consultants. There were 5 number in a site. It's actually very difficult to find a consulting firm taking 5 students at a time. We also have Civil 1 consultants that have taken a number of students and graduate engineers. So we are actually up to speed in communicating and ensuring that empowerment and mentorship is actually happening there. Nonetheless, we are also in communication with technicians through the KTRB and the IET, because as engineers, we normally wait for data. For example, working as a geotechnical engineer, the engineer trusts the data that the technician gives. But if you don't empower the technician, it is garbage in, garbage out. Thank you. 10 seconds for Engineer Musiomi's question on membership. We actually take members from private and government institutions as currently accepted by the MHR. Thank you.
Maybe if I can add on to, maybe if I can add on to that is why we mentor P is because FL has a ceiling of 40 years. After that, you're practically kicked out. So we expect you on the other side. So we have to mentor you so that you're not surprised when you reach 40. Yeah. Secondly, about our membership abroad. Our members are very active. We also give support to people who just move to a new city. So we get that family type of connection. You're bragging about a member in that. Can brag about one of our members is in charge of the RDM, the Road Designers Manual. So we are a very powerful force to reckon with, and would welcome all graduate engineers and students to come and join us.
Thank you, Engineer Lachoya. We'll open up the floor to 2 more questions. If there's anyone else with a question.
Okay. It's not a question, really, but there was a graduate engineer here who was interested in joining FL. I think she could tell us what is so convincing so that the others who are still doubting can just register immediately. We are done.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sandra Motho. I'm from Kenya, and I previously attended an ACEK FL meet and greet, I think, and that's when I got to know about it. I met a lot of young people there, and I got interested to join. So I decided to come for this conference and also learn more about ACEK, and I think I'm finally convinced, and yeah, I'll be joining ACEK FL. Yes, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Mine is not a question. Actually, it's just to congratulate ACEK FL. I think ACEK seems to have finally found a life. You have done very well. You've done us very proud. I don't know whether I had gone to get the guest of honor. I don't know whether you mentioned this, that I think 2 weeks ago on the World's Girl Day, that you had a CSR, that you actually contributed money towards buying pads for girls in a certain school, and amongst many other things you're doing. It's very impressive, and we are very proud. My commitment to you, I know I'll be there when you're making the next budget. I will make sure that you get allocation so that you're able to do your functions. Of course, I know you contribute something small, but you consume all of it and then some more. So now this time I just want to make sure that you consume it officially. So congratulations, thank you so much. You've actually made ACEK very visible. And it's not just visibility. You know, being an engineer is actually to solve issues, to help others. You can't be an engineer for yourself. So for you doing what you're doing, you're actually doing what we are all supposed to be doing. So thank you once again.
I would also like to recognize the presence of our secretary, John Jairo. He's actually a hands-on engineer, very reliable, powerful man. Jairo, please. In absentia, we have Engineer Vane Mumanyi, who was unable to make it today, but she's actually online. She's also our treasurer. Asante sana.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think before you leave the stage, I would like to have maybe a remark from each one of you, 10 seconds. So you are being given 10 seconds each, not in any particular order. We could start with Yvette. 10 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you. I've been in ACEK since 2015, and it's been an awesome experience. I'd like to employ to any young engineer here who wants to join ACEK. Please join.
Thank you, Yvette. We go to Chairman, ngoja kwanza. Yes, Mr. Prac Manager, Engineer Kenneth Amolo.
Thank you very much. I think my parting shot is I'll urge all of us, especially the young engineers, let's join hands together, let's work together, let's push policy changes in our country to ensure that engineers are always on the table and not on the menu. And when you're denied that chance, let's break that table. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's clap for Engineer Ken as we move to Kiunga. Engineer Kiunga.
Yeah, for young engineers, the world is your oyster. Just make it what you want it to be.
Wewe ngoja kwanza, ati umesema nini? Ati amesema ulimwengu ni nini?
Your oyster.
Hiyo ndio nini? Okay, sawa, hata hiyo pia ni kizungu tutaelewa baadaye. Sawa, thank you so much. Yeah, let's go to my daughter, Engineer Latoya Ouna.
I'll do 15 seconds. Anyway, I just wanted to add the things that we've forgotten, that we have leadership in our ACEK FL that is also in FIDIC Africa. Our former chair, Engineer Francis Mwangi, he's also a big contributor at Konza. So I would just like to encourage the current leadership that it's cold and lonely up there, that don't be static. And we should also, as we talk about local advocacy, think about global advocacy, because we're now in a world of globalization. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Engineer Latoya. Now we go to Engineer Barbara, who is also our current acting CEO, ACEK. Engineer Barbara.
Thank you, Engineer. Apart from the position, my chair forgot me. I'm also the ACEK Future Leaders Vice Chair. And one of the questions, something that normally comes out, our ACEK chair, Engineer Patrick Wambula, normally says the issue is when you say the future, you think long term, the future is now. So Karen, join us and let's join hands to move forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And now we go to the chairman himself, Robert John.
Thank you very much. The future is now. Collaboration will make us go far. Let us take our space. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I would like you to basically remain where you